Hi guys, welcome to the Jumpstart course about scenario work. So in this course, I'm going to give you an overview of the whole entire thing. There's a lot, but I'm just going to give you this information very, very quickly so that you understand what it is and you can start applying it to your life, to your situation right away. So the first thing to understand about scenario work is we don't talk about trauma. Why? Because of course, bad things happened in my past and people's past, right? But every bad thing that happened created a desire, and that desire now lives inside of you. It's right here in the present. So technically, we don't even need the past at all. All the desires are within us at the present moment. So that's what we're using, and we're not discussing the past whatsoever. So point number 2 is setting the stage. What's the stage in scenario work? It's your body, your actual physical body, your arms, legs, shoulders, head. So what happens? The current personality, that is you actually step out. So you're gonna be hovering like somewhere around here, and the character steps in, and the character takes over the body. The movement, the arms, the legs, the head, everything is now, it's the character. So the movement of the body will completely change. And you become what we call the observer, and the observer just observes. They're watching, but they're not interfering and they're not judging. They're just letting the characters do their thing. Next is your first character. Now, your first character is your so-called dream normal. Basically, it's the character who is normal. Like nothing bad ever happened in their life. Like their life is going smoothly. Everything is normal. Nothing out of the ordinary. So they're a normal person, average, but on the good side of average. So everything, like when they were born, they had a good family, good relation, good mother, father, maybe siblings. They went to school, everything was good. They were choosing a career path. Okay, what do I want to do in life? They went, got some skills, and then they found a job, and now they're working in whatever field they want to work. So they're average, good, normal, like how things could have gone if no trouble ever happened. So that's your first character. All right, now your second character. First character, dream normal. Second character, nothing normal. So your first scenario actually is when your dream normal character meets this new, weird, strange, something not regular human type of character. And it's the second one. There's always somebody who initiates a scenario. The second one initiates. They come to meet the first one and they have a conversation. Now, guys, in the detailed course, you will have basically support in the sense of you'll have a template. And in that template, there'll be exactly what to do step by step, exactly what's happening during that meeting. And you would also need to record the results of the meeting of those two characters. But that is your first scenario, those two meeting and beginning to communicate with each other. Now, let's talk about scenario structure. Every scenario has a structure, which means there's a clear beginning, there's a clear arc, and the end. The way the beginning works is one of your characters, as I already mentioned, one of your characters initiates that scenario. They come to see the other or another. You'll have a bunch of characters. You'll have like 12 of them. So one initiates, comes, shows up, barges in. The other is usually bothered or maybe happy sometimes. And they ask them the same question in every scenario. Well, formulated differently, but it's the same question. The idea is, why did you come? What do you want? And then the scenario begins. There's no script, there's steps, but there's no script. So they'll have a conversation about why this one came and what they want and what's happening. And once the whole thing is figured out, they may, have a friendly conversation, they may have a fight, something's gonna happen, maybe something else. And there's gonna be the sort of resolution. So at that point, it's done, the scenario is done, and one of them leaves. That's the structure, general structure of a scenario. All right, so next part is how to embody the character. So embody, body, right? The character steps in, you, the observer, step out, and the character takes over the body. But more than that, they take over all 5 levels of your being. But the body first. So what happens is the body language completely changes. How they carry themselves, right? How they move, whether it's sharp movement or whether it's soft movement. If it's a female, feminine character, maybe there's going to be more of a female type of movement. If it's a male character, it's going to be more of a male type of shoulders, different, right? Legs, position of the body. So embodying the character, their movement changes, posture changes, everything changes. And of course, like I said, it's not just the body. All 5 levels, there are 5 levels. So the physical, the emotional, the cognitive, all levels are involved. The character takes over, the observer keeps observing. Now, about the observer, guys, the observer does not interfere unless there's a reason to interfere. Let's say your phone rings, you have to answer the phone. Don't let the character answer the phone ever. Step in, answer the phone or answer the door, then continue with your scenario. And the character, for the time being, they're in the body. They will need to move the arms, move the legs. If in the scenario the character sits down, the body sits down, right? If they need to go over to the other room, the body walks to the other room. So body is majorly involved in the scenario work. Again, we'll talk details. We'll have probably a separate workshop on that because it takes a little bit of practice, but that's just to give you an idea. Today is just the overview, right? All right, next part, subsequent scenarios. What happens after scenario 1? Your first 2 characters met, but that's just the beginning of the relationship. Now they're going to meet again and again and again. They're developing a relationship. What sort of relationship is going to be kind of whatever, it's yours. Maybe they'll become friends, acquaintances, work partners, or maybe more. Who knows? Everything can happen. That's 2 characters, but then more, they begin meeting more characters and more characters. Like I said, approximately think 12, but there's you could have less, you could have a little bit more even. I don't recommend having more. However, so in subsequent scenarios, more characters are meeting, interacting, following the same pattern. And at that point, you'll have a whole movie going on. You'll have many of them, they interact with each other, they develop relationships, and magic stuff begins to happen. So how does the magic happen? You'll have a variety of characters. Think fiction or science fiction type of movie. And you'll have characters who are villains. It's my favorite type of character. You'll have characters who are really, really good, sincerely, just, goody two-shoes, kind of like angels. You'll have characters who are somewhere in between. They're sort of undecided. Sometimes they do good things, sometimes they do bad things. You'll have characters who are on a mission to rescue others, the heroes. You'll have characters who are victims, who are just there to be saved. You need those too, otherwise what the hero is going to do, right? So you'll have a whole variety of different characters, and they're all different. So they need each other in order to fulfill their desires. That's the key of the whole scenario work. The next part. This one's a little tricky. Probably going to have a workshop on that. However, I'll just describe it in short, as short as I can. So it's called shifting power dynamics. It's the underlying force behind scenario work. Your characters will have different powers. Some of them will be completely powerless. Some of them will be very powerful, just like in the movie, right? Just like in real life too, money. So characters will have different powers. However, their powers are not going to be constant. So that's the sort of, think of it as the inner rule of the world where your characters are living. So that rule is that the powers are not constant. Powers can be acquired, powers can grow. Not an unusual concept, but they do that. The powers shift. So some characters will rise up to the fame and become really, really powerful, and then they would lose their power. So those shifting power dynamics is what makes scenario work. All right, we have covered almost everything. We've arrived to the very last part. And the last part is the witness or witnesses. For scenario work to work, we need witnesses. We need other human beings, other people who are not part of our inner world. We need them to witness. That's the reason for that is how our minds work. We are looking for social proof. We're looking, like if I seen something, I might doubt myself. It's like, oh, did I see it? Did it really happen? Maybe I just imagined it all. However, if you involve a witness and you tell them what happened, as simple as that, or if you tell them what happened in character, especially, your mind does a funny thing. It accepts it. So we absolutely need each other to play these witnesses roles, to share with each other what's been happening in our inner work, in our inner scenarios, our inner world, because that will allow the inner shift within us. So being the community on school, working together and sharing these exciting scenarios, oh, this happened, I did this, it has a purpose. And there's even a category, Be My Witness, on school. So you can look for people and ask, hey, can anybody be my witness? I want to talk about what happened. You can do it one-on-one, on Zoom, on a live call with that person so nobody else is there to witness. Or if you feel comfortable and say, oh, I want to share it with the whole community, you can type it, share your scenario in the feed. And people will acknowledge and say how, wow, or maybe they want to hear more. So that's the crucial part, because otherwise, again, scenario work is only going to be half effective. So you do need witnesses, all right? Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much for having watched the whole entire thing. I hope that gives you a better idea how scenario work works. And to get more information, I'll be creating and uploading separate videos for each of these 10 components that I've just very, very quickly covered. So I'm looking forward to you guys checking them out. And again, if you have any questions or anything, just contact me, DM me, we'll get together, we'll talk, and I don't bite. One of my characters used to. All right, bye. See you soon.